Good morning, my dear students. Today I am going to explain the chapter Lost Child from the book Moments. So we have done some part of the chapter and now I am going to just conclude this today. So the now we have done till that the child is lost in the fear and he is weeping and crying and just sobbing for his parents, but he was nowhere to find any one of his parents. So one man who lifted the child in his lap, okay, lifted in his arms and just trying to sympathize him, trying to just stop him crying. Now see what are the efforts the man was doing, but the child was unstoppable. So I am reading now. See, how did you get here? Means how you lost here? Who are you? This is the question the man was asking from the child. Uh, whose baby are you? The man asked as he steered. Steered here refers to come out from the crowd of the mass here crowd. The child wept more bitterly than ever now and only cried, I want my mother, I want my father. And now the child was not heeding anything. He was not going to listen anything. He was just crying and demanding his parents. Okay, he is asking for his parents. He is asking that where is my parents. Initially see the condition of the child, how his condition is changed. Initially when he was in the initially he was with his parents, so he was asking for sweets, he was asking for balloons, he was attracted towards the everything, okay, there. But now he was lost there. He missed his parents, and then in absence of his parents he was not willing to have anything. In the fear, he was asking only the presence of his parents, company of his parents. The child wept more bitterly than ever now and only cried, I want my mother, I want my father. The man tried to soothe him by taking him to the roundabout. Means the man who has lifted the child, okay, and lovingly, it was not that he was stealing the child. Lovingly, he wanted to just help the child, okay, and try to find out the lost child parents. So his first work was that he wanted to just find out um, the parents second, and the first he wanted that first the child should stop crying, and that's why he was taking to roundabouts. Okay, a kind of game was there, the children were playing there. So will you have a ride on the horse? This was the roundabout game, that it was a kind of wheel, okay, and there some horses, some lions, some elephants of wooden were made, okay, and the children were sitting on that and just they were moving. It was roundabout. It's a kind of game. So, will you have a ride on the horse? He gently asked as he approached the ring. The man who has lifted her was carrying the lost child in his arm. He was very nicely and gently asking the child that, will you love to ride the horse? And the child was, see how, what was the response and reply of the child. The child's throat tore into a thousand shrill sobs and he only shouted. Means he was crying at the peak of his sound. At the high pitch he was crying and crying always, and he was not listening anything. I want my mother, I want my father. The man headed towards the place. Means the man was trying all the means, okay, to stop crying the child. He was trying to just make him feel comfortable, but the child was unstoppable. The man headed towards the place where the snake charmer still played on the flute to the swaying cobra. The the uh, the snake charmer was playing the flute. Initially, the Child was attracted, fascinated, but this time the man took him near the snake charmer, and one swaying cobra was there, sitting just like a swan and just moving its tail and head. But and at the same time, the charmer was, snake charmer was playing his flute, but the child was not taking interest in it. Now see, the man was telling, listen to that nice music, child. He pleaded, he requested the child to listen. Look, look, see, my dear child. But the child shut his ears, okay, with his finger. This shows his complete annoyance, okay, anger, upset, okay, an unhappy state of his, mind. His fingers and shouted his double-pitched strain. I want my mother, I want my father. The man took him near the balloons. This the third time, okay, the man tried to just take the child near the balloons, thinking the bright colors of the balloons would distract the child's attention and quieten him. The man thought that if I will carry the child, okay, near the balloon shop, the balloon seller, the color of the balloons will definitely distract him. Means distract refers to shift his attention from gloom to happiness, unhappy to happiness. But when he reached there, now see the reaction of the child. Would you like rainbow colored balloons? He persuasively asked. And very nicely he asked, took one balloons, okay, the sky color balloon and rainbow color balloon, and then he gave him to the child, that would you like to have this kind this color balloons. The child turned his eyes from the flying balloons, okay, and just sobbed. Means he was unstoppable. He was just crying and crying. I want my mother, I want my father. This is the case of the child. The man, still trying to make the child happy, bore him to the gate where the flower seller sat. And the man who was just trying to quieten, means stop the cry of the child, he took the child near the um, shop where a man was selling some flowers, so that thinking that the child, when he will see the flowers, he will quieten his cry, he will stop crying, he will stop sobbing. Look, can you smell those nice flowers, child? Would you like a garland to put around your neck? This was the suggestion made by the man, that would you like to have a garland in your neck? The child responds, you see. The child turned his nose away from the basket and repeated once again. Even he was not taking interest in anything. Initially, he was taking interest in everything. And now he's taking interest in nothing. Okay, he wants his mother at any cost. He wants his father at any cost. He does not want sweets. He does not want garlands. He does not want to listen the music of the snake charmer. He does not want to just purchase and have the colorful balloons. He does not want to ride the horse, okay, near the roundabout. So this shows that in presence of the parents, okay, the child was very much happy and wanted to have all these things. But at the same time, at the absence of the parents, okay, the child lost interest in everything. So this is the condition here. The child turned his nose away from the basket and reiterated his sob. I want my mother, I want my father. Thinking to humor his disconsolate charge by a gift of sweets. And now finally the man decided that why not I should purchase some sweets for the child, and sweets are very much loving objects for the children. This was the thought of the man. So he took the lost child near a shop, okay, and see what happens there. What sweets would you like, child? He asked. The child turned his face from the sweet shop and only sobbed. And even the child does not like, okay, the sweets. Initially he was telling that my favorite sweet is burfi. And now When the same thing was given in the absence of his parents, he did not like anything. So this shows that in presence of his parents, he liked everything. But at the same time, in the absence of his parents, he does not like anything. So this is the case. So please don't disobey your parents. Always obey them. Always try to just do whatever work you are doing according to their wish. Otherwise, your case will be the same. Okay, like this lost child. So these are the questions I have given here. Assignment for today. What are the things the child sees on his way to the fair? Why does he lag behind? Lag behind means piche chut jana, because he was attracted towards many things. Okay, and he stopped and stay at the objects of snack chama, balloons, roundabout, and many other things, sweets. So you will do all the NCRT questions. Okay, all the best.